Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for joining us here on KXAN Live. I'm Will Dupree, coming to you from the KXAN Live studio. Hope you're enjoying your Friday, but thanks for joining us here on our live stream. We're going to focus on something inspiring this afternoon, and this is a part of our ongoing Simple Health Profiles that we're reporting about and highlighting here on our KXAN Live. So joining us, as always, is one of KXAN's producers, Jose Torres, who has been reporting a lot of these stories, is going to talk about another one today. Jose, thank you for being here. Happy Friday to you.
Yeah, happy Friday.
Very glad to be here. I know that it's almost the weekend for both of us, but it's really cool to be able to talk about this story in particular because it deals with something that a lot of people have not only dealt with personally or with someone close to them, and that, of course, we're talking about is cancer. So let's just introduce who we're going to be speaking about today and what his story is about.
Yeah, I met this young man, his name is Jackson Helling, and he's 29 years old, but 10 years ago when he was a sophomore at college, he was diagnosed with papillary thyroid cancer, and it all happened after his summer vacation with his family. He noticed something strange on his throat after he was wakeboarding, and that actually ended up being a good thing because he noticed something strange on his neck, and that caused him to go to the doctor and then eventually led to the diagnosis. He conquered the disease, and that's awesome news, but he also didn't expect the mental health struggles that came with it, and that included some dark times, and he opened up about even having suicidal thoughts. But his passion for sports, he's very athletic, as you can see, and embracing vulnerability helped him thrive during this difficult time.
Well, let's hear a little bit more about his journey from himself. We're going to listen to that and then continue our conversation on the other side.
When at the darkest point, like the depth of those 3 years, it's so weird for me to say, but didn't know if I wanted to be alive. And I was suicidal thoughts, which is hard to, even speak right now, but that's where I was. I was on family vacation in Wisconsin. When we're up there, usually we go wakeboarding. So I fell on the wakeboard that day, and when I fell, it was a pretty hard slap. My whole front of my body, including my neck, onto the water. And at night, that it was still bugging me, and I could feel a specific spot on my throat that was a little painful. There was this spot on my thyroid, so on my neck, and I was like, that's probably not, that's not a normal thing. I was diagnosed with cancer. It's papillary thyroid cancer and lymphoma, but they were able to get most of it out during the surgery. After I got surgery and got the treatment. So I would say this is where kind of the more in-depth struggles kind of came in. Just the mental part of cancer is hard for anybody, questioning, am I going to be here in a couple of years? How serious is this? What is life going to look like? I kind of kept it to myself at first because I was not used to this being a part of my life. The points at which I felt the most relief when I was in that dark point was being able to talk to somebody that could relate. Even coming from, a more introverted person, community is one of the most important things ever.
All right, so that is Jackson Helling, as you just mentioned, Jose, a few moments ago, and you had a chance to interviewing him after reaching out to him on social media. That's how you came across his story, right?
Yes, so he is embracing his journey, and because he's a fitness trainer, so he's trying to connect with his clients and with other people, and letting them know that vulnerability and is a good thing, and opening up to others and not being alone or sheltering or isolating yourself could be problematic. As you heard, he went through some dark times because of that.
Yeah.
So he hopes to, by sharing his story, he can inspire others, to lean in community.
Well, what he was talking about is pretty prescient with what's going on in the Olympics, and there's been so much focus on how mental health treatment has helped a lot of these athletes in their journeys and overcoming some obstacles. But just going back to his cancer diagnosis and the treatments that followed that, how did that affect his life day to day?
So they took, the surgeons took most of the cancer out, and then radiation treatment helped with the rest. But during that process, that messed with his hormones. So he had to take daily pills to kind of balance that out. But that treatment initially didn't work out. He was still feeling that he wanted to isolate. He ended his relationships with his friends, his girlfriend at the time. And he shared that with his doctors, and the doctor said, well, this is going to be your new normal. And, he wasn't satisfied with that. So they ended up, after a few conversations, they ended up coming up with a new dosage plan with his pills that he has to take every day now. And when they came up with that new solution, everything changed for him. He no longer had that much anxiety or those feelings of depression.
So he really did seek help. So is that part of the solutions that he's maybe advising people out there who might be going through something similar?
Yes, don't keep it in because the solution is just by simply just opening your mouth and sharing it with somebody. And if it's not a doctor, maybe it's a friend that can help you and guide you to a resource.
Yeah, and what was interesting about the video and during your conversation is that he wanted to show off the scars that came from his surgery. How does he feel when he looks at that now and wants to share the story behind it with people?
In the beginning, he told me that he just would jokingly tell his friends, oh, I got attacked by a shark, and this is what happened. But now he wears it with pride, and it's a conversation starter. And it's a way for him to relate to others. And because there's something in us that we all can resonate with this story. All of us go through hard times, and if we lean into that community and just start talking about our things that we're going through, you can find that there is hope out there just by doing that.
Yeah, what's so great about these stories is that they can provide an example for people, something to point to if you're going through a hard time, to show what others who have been through similar situations have done to try to get over those humps and those obstacles. And his story is no different, along with some of the other ones that you've been reporting here lately, too.
Yeah, and what I like doing about these stories, I'm big on community. I think that community keeps the heart beating. And especially when it comes to isolation, just having that one friend that will listen to you can keep you out of some dark times.
Well, Jose, thank you so much for introducing us to Jackson, and everybody can read his story over on our website, kxan.com, right?
Yes.
Okay, everybody. So if you'd like to learn a little bit more about that journey, how he overcame cancer and what it took to get through that time, you can read Jose's story that he reported about Jackson, again, on our website. For now, Jose, I think that will do it. We'll be back again next Friday with another profile in our Simple Health series. So, Jose, thank you again, and I'm looking forward to talking to you back here on the screen.
Oh, just one more thing. In that web story, you'll find a link to resources and more information about this type of cancer and the treatment that's out there and symptoms to look for.
That is the best thing that we can do, is put all that information on our website so that people can access it anytime as a resource. So thank you for plugging that. Jose, appreciate you, and we thank you all for joining us again. I'm Will Dupree in the KXAN Live studio. We'll see you back here at another time. Hope you all stay safe and healthy, and enjoy your weekend. Bye.